Okay, looks like I'm back. The connection became unstable, but I have returned. So I guess YouTube's having some issues tonight. I have no idea, but just to be on the safe side, I'll try not to load anything external, like any other web pages, while doing the stream, because that's what I did. Connection lost instability. There's a donation link. So I feel really bad because I was having a nice chat with Ryan and then it just stopped. So that's unfortunate, but that happens sometimes. Guess there's not much I can do about it. Okay, how does it sound? How does it sound? Are we good? Okay, how does it sound? Okay, good. Boy. Freaking connection issues. But at least we're back now. I guess I will take one little risk. Because I want to get this loaded on my channel properly. Okay, that's it. That's all I'll do. That's all the risk I will take. Oh my god, no, you've got to be kidding me. Are we back? Hang on. Are we back? 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 Okay, thank the gods. Hey there, welcome back, Ryan. I almost thought it died again. Sudden jump cut from mid-water drink, yeah. It's because the connection's all like iffy right now. I don't know why, but if it happens again, I'll probably just restart my router just in case. Because I don't know why. I mean, I'm not an expert in these areas, but I just have a hunch that that would fix it. I just have a hunch that that would correct the issue. So, all right. I need Bluetooth. Not to my knowledge. I think the only devices that have that would be my phone and tablet, and I don't think that's on. No, it isn't. Thing is, I'm pretty sure my internet's supposed to be pretty good. Like, I forget what the speeds are, but I'm pretty sure it's at least 50 down, and I don't know how much up, but yeah. I'm pretty sure my internet, it might not be like the best, but it's definitely not the worst either. It might bug it, but I can't see it being that serious. Probably YouTube's fault. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised considering that it was my YouTube channel that I went to load when the connection became unstable. So it seems like it would be on YouTube's end. Blame on the giant faceless company. Yeah. Well, kind of sort of seems like it might be their fault. I don't know. Just saying. I went to load my channel and that's when it happened. But who knows? So now we wait. I think at this point, just as long as I don't have a storm preventing me from streaming like happened this past Saturday, then I'm happy. That day was so weird. Like right when I was about to get ready to stream, I was going to go shower, and I mean, it almost seemed like nature was just like, no, you will not stream, because it was right when I was going to get ready. And so it didn't happen that day. So we'll probably just end up doing that 4 of 1 stream like this weekend, I guess, unless maybe I could squeeze it in on Wednesday. You know? So let's see. Let's look at what's going on astrologically. So the sun had its annual conjunction with Uranus today, making for many sudden, shocking, unexpected developments and sudden insights and revelations, and an accentuation of uniqueness and individuality, rebellion and revolution, a fight for freedom. Saturn and Pluto are about as close together now as they're going to get until their ominous conjunction in January 2020. And so we are, in fact, this month getting a preview of what we can expect in January of 2020. The stuff that we see this month will repeat significantly and much more strongly in January of 2020. Swear I got a new chair. Well, I mean, I did get a new chair a few months ago, back in January. Yeah, it was January. So I mean, it's not like brand new, but it's newer, you know. It's only a few months ago. But yeah, it's great. It feels very good. So much better than the old one, which is falling the hell apart. Let's see. The moon's currently transiting Sagittarius, giving everything more of an upbeat, optimistic vibe right now. Much needed one, I would say. Venus recently entered Aries. And so she went from the sweet, sensitive, delicate, subtle, perceptive, intuitive energy of Pisces to the do it now, hot-headed, go-getter, me focus, or like, what am I trying to say? Like, all about me, my way or the highway, Aries. So all of our everything from like socialization to love lives and stuff like that is colored by that. We'll get our Aries energy now. Alpha almost. Yes, I would say so. Aries is quite the alpha. Either that or they just like to believe they're the alpha. No, they probably are the alpha. They're the first sign of the zodiac. I think they're about as alpha as it gets. But what's really interesting with Venus right now is that she's moving into a conjunction with Chiron, the wounded healer, in 14 hours. And that's going to play out very interesting and involve a lot of healing of wounds for everyone in the next 24 hours. Chat says there's 2 people watching Spooky. I know, I see that on my screen too. Like, who is this mysterious other person? Are they going to reveal themselves? Or are they just lurking? It's okay if you're just lurking. I don't mind. I appreciate your just being here. I appreciate anyone being here. Is it my twin? Well, you are a Gemini. So who knows? God, I gotta stop doing that. Like, see, I keep wanting to laugh at things way more than I should. Like, it's not even that funny, at least not to me. Or, I mean, I guess it is because I'm laughing, but I don't know what I'm saying. That honestly would be nice. Are you saying you would prefer to have a twin? Let's see here, though. So you're a Gemini. So 12, 11. This Venus Chiron conjunction for you, Ryan, is happening in your 11th house of social networking and community and group activity and stuff like that. And so you can expect a significant activation of that stuff over the next 24 hours, especially about 14 hours from now, but mainly like over the next 24 hours. You can expect, let's see, Venus Chiron in the 11th. That's like, well, it's going to have to do with the healing of wounds. It may have to do with relationships and or money. And it's going to have to do with 11th house matters, which is like community, groups, networking. Like, it could be literal, like when I say social networking, that could be literal, like social media networking or like offline social networking. But yeah, I'd say it's pretty powerful. Any conjunction in astrology is going to be pretty powerful, I would say. Interesting, because I've been asked to form a rock band. Fascinating. Yeah, well, Venus is also creativity, art, music. And a rock band, well, I don't know. I know it's a very broad genre, but it seems like rock music in particular is so often about the healing of wounds and unhealed wounds. And that would be the Chiron aspect. So maybe you're onto something. Oh, I think I am. Of course, what I just gave you is for all Geminis in general, like you have been in the past. I'm happy to hear that. Let's see, though. I can't remember what your rising sign was, though, Ryan. Or some of these charts that I looked at in the past ended up being saved on my computer. Maybe I could even find it. Don't really know what else to do while I wait, so I'm just going to give you some free astrology information, because why not? If I can find it, let's see. Hello, can I please have a reading? Yes, you can. Just make a donation to my PayPal or Super Chat of any amount, and I'll give you a tarot reading on any question that you would like. Let's see. Not to give too much away, but the person who asked me is very much wanting to use this possible band to help get out his emotions. Oh, wow, that's funny how that works. Yeah, get out his emotions. That's textbook Chiron right there. That's textbook. Like a rock band to do that, that's textbook Venus Chiron. All right, thank you for the donation, Earth Angel. And let me know what your question is whenever you're ready. Happily keep you updated on where this goes. Thank you, Ryan. I look forward to hearing how it turns out. It should turn out well, considering that the energy for it is good. But of course, it's always going to be up to our free will ultimately. What is Dario doing? Like, what has he been busy with? All right, let's take a look here. What is he doing? Like, what has he been busy with? Well, just to keep it within the, I guess, within my ethical limits, I'll give you a reading on that as it relates to you, so we don't intrude too much into anyone's personal life, as long as that's okay with you. All right, so we would like a Celtic cross reading for Earth Angel in the chat right here, right now, on the question of what is Dario doing? What has he been busy with? In as much as it relates to Earth Angel, let's get a Celtic cross and see what we get. You and a spy. It's understandable. Well, we could maybe spy a little bit, just a little bit. So a Celtic cross. What has Dario been doing? What information can we glean from the universe on this situation? Not quite. I knew it. There it is. Secret agent. I know, right? We're like peering into the unknown realms. All right, Knight of Wands. 8 of Pentacles reversed. The Lovers reversed. King of Swords. Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Swords reversed. The Fool. The Magician reversed. Death. And the final outcome card of the King of Wands. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's see. Let me calculate this stuff. All right. Well, what we're getting, I guess the strongest indicator of here is looks like he's trying to establish some kind of security or like safety. Now, whether that be financial security or another kind of security, it could be either or. It looks like he is really got this energy of impulsivity or spontaneity or wanting to like push ahead into new things. Now, it could be that he's trying to be more that way, that he's not being like spontaneous and following his inspiration enough. Is he working? Well, if he's not working, it appears that he wants to be working, because we also have challenge card 8 of Pentacles reversed. And well, maybe it doesn't matter if it's reversed, various readers will say in the challenge position, but regardless, when we look at that, That's like saying that he's trying to integrate that. That's his challenge right now is integrating the energy of working away at something. Let's see what else. Now, of course, there's also the possibility, however, that Knight of Wands, being a court card, could manifest as a person, most likely an adult male fire sign. That would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. That is involved in his life in some way, shape, or form right now. Also, the King of Wands, another adult male fire sign card, showed up for the outcome card. That could be a thing happening. Now, both the King and Queen of Swords also showed up, so there could be an air sign, male and or female involved. So we'll just sort of throw that out there. He's having money issues. Well, let's see. The cards are not saying that he's having money issues per se, just that he's wanting to establish some kind of security and quite possibly financial security. So that kind of sort of could imply that maybe he's having some money issues, but it's not a guarantee. When we look at his hopes or fears, Death card, this association with Scorpio, and thus therefore the 8th house, we have the idea of business and other people's money may be a concern to him right now. Perhaps even taxes as well. I believe we just had tax day recently, at least in this area, trying to make more money. Either that or just establish security, basically. Like, if he's not making enough money now, then almost certainly, yeah, he's trying to make more money. Let me see what else I can figure out. Oh, there's another interesting connection here. So with this Fool card for his attitude or position on the situation, and especially taken in conjunction with the Knight of Wands for his current outside influences, he is like really ready to step into something new. It looks like he's really ready to begin a whole new journey, and or feels like he is beginning a whole new journey, and it probably does involve this financial stuff, or at least some kind of safety and security. It may be a new job, in fact. I wouldn't be surprised. It sounds like a lot of work, basically. More or less, or at least that's his challenge right now, more or less. But of course, maybe take all this with a bit of a grain of salt, since all of this is supposed to be as it relates to you, but it's also his energy that we're reading. Interestingly enough, he has for his outside force coming in the Magician reversed, which could indicate like someone who is vain or a trickster or a deceiver coming his way. Now, I don't know who this person is. It may have been, one of the fire signs or the air signs that we went over. But regardless, there may be some like trickster, essentially would be the best word, approaching him in the near or maybe somewhat distant future. But, what's the outcome card? King of Wands. He most likely comes out on top of things. And I don't know, like, if I were to go out on a limb here, I would say it's almost like he's trying to like start his own business or something, or he's trying to start some kind of like entrepreneurial money-making endeavor, because we also, 8 of Pentacles reversed is also an 8th house of business and other people's money. He's always a king of something in readings. He has his own record label. Ah, I see. Well, that makes sense. Know that much, yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of like new energy in this reading, like a lot of like let's start things now kind of energy. Perhaps even impulsive. Though the people around him might not be so trustworthy with this Lover's card reversed for the underlying energy. Like people around him might be like arguing, fighting either with him or with each other or with both. I'll leave him be then. He seems super busy, but that is good, I guess. Yeah. Basically, yeah, he seems pretty busy as far as I can tell. We're not getting cards of rest like the Four of Swords or anything here. He seems pretty busy, yeah. But thank you so much for getting a reading from me. I really appreciate it. And so I'll remind people that are watching, I'll give tarot readings for donations of any amount of money. And then if you want a birth chart reading, I'll do those for donations of $20 or more. So if you're willing to donate a considerable amount, $20 or more, I'll throw in a birth chart reading, an astrology reading, if that's what you would desire. Yeah, thank you. That was fun. Well, thank you. I'm happy to hear that. Can I have a reading about me? Sure, as long as you give another donation, I can give you a reading about you. All right, let's see here. Gather up my cards. See, intriguing. Ryan says, I agree. It's always interesting to see where the energy of these readings takes us. Super chat denied it. Damn. Well, you can, I don't know if PayPal works for you, but you can try PayPal. I might as well repost the donation link in the chat, regardless, just to make it easier for people. You know the feeling. Oh yeah, Ryan, I saw earlier just before the previous stream cut out. I saw like you said that like Google's not letting you get into your account or something. That sucks. Well, thank you for being here nonetheless. Apple payment denied. Cash App. I don't have that. Maybe I should get that at some point. That comes up occasionally. People say that they've got that, even though you're always logged in. Yeah, that's strange. I've occasionally come across that. People say they've got issues like getting into their accounts. Does a super chat do that? Yeah, I have no idea. Well, hopefully YouTube addresses this. Love to give you an Amazon gift card. Thanks, Ryan. Well, if you do give me an Amazon gift card, that's perfectly sufficient payment for a reading of your choice. So if there's a way to do that, then hell yeah, I'll give you a nice tarot reading. Most stuff I buy is from Amazon anyway. Worked once, so I thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, Earth Angel. And sorry it didn't work for you. Like that really sucks. But thanks for being here. Thanks nonetheless. Maybe it'll work at a later time. But I guess that's the way these things go sometimes. Hopefully, whatever the issue is, whether it's on YouTube's end or Google's end or whatever, they notice it and fix it soon. After all, they make money from Super Chat too, so it would be in their best interest to fix this stuff. It would be in everyone's best interest. So now I guess we'll see what might happen next. See, I'm going to check my phone real quick, but I'll keep an eye on the chat at the same time. All right, enough of that. Going to get some of those in-store purchase cards to finally buy and send money online. I see. I don't know how those work, but that's good. Sounds like a plan. Hopefully next tarot stream you do, I can finally contribute like I've been wanting to. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate that. And I will happily give you a reading in return, of course. And hell, since you're always here, I'll even give you an astrology reading for that too. Regardless of the amount, because you attend so many of my streams. Which, I mean, of course, back in the day, I know it was only like 6 months ago, but still feels like a while ago. Back when I first started streaming, I remember looking at your chart. So that was fun. Of course, back then I was just sort of playing around with things, and so I did things for free, but I don't know, times change, I guess. Thank you kindly. I'll try to attend. Sometimes work gets in the way, huh? Yes. Well, that is no worry whatsoever. These things happen. Sometimes I wonder, what would happen if I tried to stream every day or almost every day or 5 days a week. I don't know if I could handle that, but I've thought about it before. And it would almost be like my job in a way. It'd just be like, oh, streaming's my job now. Kind of funny. I think they have changed for the better for you and your YouTube career. Changed for the better. Oh, you mean my streams? Yeah, I think you're right. But thank you. I mean, I'm definitely following my excitement a lot more now with YouTube than I was before. But of course, it's not like I don't know, resisted live streaming before. I just didn't really think of it until I thought of it. I didn't think that I would want to do that until I sort of thought of it one night and tried it and liked it. Yeah, it's great doing these live tarot reading streams. I mean, not that I make a lot of money from them, but I can at least make a little bit, and then I can get things that improve the live streams themselves. Like the microphone I have now was paid for with donation money, and of course the Thoth deck. Of course, that was when someone donated money specifically for me to get that. And I can get improved lighting over time and stuff like that. Oh, and the sound insulation panels, which I want to get more of. Is a risk exposing oneself to the online community. Yeah, that's very true. But I guess I decided years ago, and this was long before I was into any of the stuff that I'm, talking so much about now, like astrology and tarot. I realized a long time ago that it was just basically my path to have that experience, which is a little bit weird for me because being a Taurus moon, I'm not exactly interested in being famous or whatever. In fact, well, not that I would be famous if I succeeded on YouTube, but you know what I mean? I'm not interested in being in the spotlight a lot, like a Leo would be. I'm much more interested in keeping to myself, but at the same time, it's like I have a destiny to fulfill. And so I can't just I can't just hide in the shadows all my life. So, this is the path of least resistance for me. You take my suggestion for sound baffles, quack. Yes, definitely. Well, I mean, I know a good suggestion when I see one, generally speaking. And I thought, oh yes, that's excellent. It's what I've been wanting forever. But well, the only issue with it is that yes, one package might just be like $20, but one package only covers a very small portion of the room. Like I will need literally like $100 or almost $100 worth of these sound insulation panels just to cover like the parts of this wall, or the two like walls behind me, the parts of them that I want to cover, which is not even that much of them, because I don't want any of the sound insulation panels to show up in the background when I'm streaming. So unfortunately, it's going to be a while before I can get the amount of them that I need to really make a big difference. But it'll happen eventually. It will happen eventually. And I don't know, over time I might even really go kind of crazy with it and like cover like almost all the surfaces in this room, or at least almost all the walls in this room with them. Make the sound as softened as possible. How good are you at, say, building a portable wall? Building a portable wall? I don't know how I would do that. Why? What is your idea this time? What is your suggestion this time? Oh yeah, I can also afford to like get myself freaking haircuts and stuff, like basic things like that now. I think I'm gonna get a haircut soon. Depending on your setup, perhaps take the cubicle route. Oh yeah, it's an interesting idea. I mean, I can't think of how I would do that right now, but if there was a way, that could be interesting. I don't know. Maybe if I think of a way to do that. I just don't know. I'm trying to think here. The left side of my desk would be the most difficult area for that, I think. But I also really want to get better lighting. Like there are these nice box lights available on Amazon for like, I think like $70 or something. And so one of these days I'm going to get those, I think, and that way it'll be much better lit up for these streams. Just a corner section, like a capital L shape, place in front of where you're sitting, then cover that in sound insulation. It's an interesting idea. I mean, then I would have to set up more stuff for each stream, but it could be worth it. I don't know. I guess I have to figure out how to make one of those. Go to the layout of your room, though. Well, I mean, I'm basically in a corner here, obviously, and the rest of the room's in front of me. I don't know. There's not too much stuff. Well, there's some stuff on the floor to the left of me, like the power strip powering my computer and various things. But to the right of me is mostly clear. Yeah, it could be interesting. I bet that would improve the sound quality a lot for these tarot streams in particular, because I have to put the microphone farther away from me to make room for the cards. But what I'm also going to do soon, whenever I can throw it in with another Amazon order, is I'm going to get I know I've mentioned this before, but a foam windscreen for my microphone so as to filter out background sound. So that should theoretically improve the audio quality significantly. You're just a flat wall. Yeah, these are all things I'll have to like look up at some point. But of course, I also like the idea of having the sound insulation on the walls sort of behind and around me, because that means that there's benefit even when I'm not streaming. Like if I'm watching anything on YouTube or listening to music or whatever, it's going to sound a hell of a lot better. I also want to get them for my bedroom because I've got like my own little home theater system in there. My wall of baffles computer desk / mic. Yeah, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, I wonder how that would work. I wonder how effective that would be. I wonder if they sell like just little like makeshift or like portable walls like that. I'll have to check that out. I think I was pulling up some stuff earlier. What was it? Related to audio stuff. Ah, I see. Well, that's cool. I'm into home theater stuff. So that's my audio. Let's see here. So this Venus Chiron conjunction occurs at 340 of Aries. And that means for you, Ryan, it will happen in, make sure I get this right. Okay. Going by your ascendant in the Placidus house system, your 6th house of your work, your health, your everyday activities, things like that. So just kind of expanding on what I was mentioning earlier, Venus Chiron, the next 24 hours, perhaps expect your work or health or everyday activities to be emphasized in some significant way, particularly with the idea of healing with Chiron involved, and maybe even some kind of sweet, delicious improvement with Venus being involved. There. I really wanted to figure that out. Neat, thank you. You are welcome. Yeah, astrology is so interesting. I'm learning new things about it all the time. You miss the other regulars? Yeah, where are they? I feel like I feel like some people have been absent lately. But oh well. That's okay. Other people have lives that they have to go live. It's all right. Perhaps I should do more special topic streams because those are exciting and attract some interesting people. I've noticed. The semi one-on-one is nice, but yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, I mean, that's the nice thing about, I guess, having a small audience is being able to like talk to everyone easily. I think that's what I prefer anyway. But it's 11:33 p.m., so I might get off soon. I'll just have to see what happens. I hope I didn't wait too long to do these readings tonight. Like, I don't know. I could have gone on a bit earlier, but I wanted to watch half of a movie first while the time was right for that before it got too late. because the movies I like to watch, many of them are very loud, and so I can't watch them too late at night, or I can disturb other people. We can't have that. Did you broadcast on your Insta? No, I have not. Do you mean like posting a story to it? I haven't done that at all for quite a while, actually. Like, post to Instagram that I'm live. Maybe I should, but I don't know. I could right now, but that never really got that many results anyway, I don't think. But it might be worth a try, maybe next time that I'm live. Sometimes I miss the paranormal, though. I think maybe I'd like to talk about that again sometimes. But I don't know. Don't want anyone thinking that suddenly, like, I'm going back into the paranormal and not going to talk about other things anymore. Why not your channel? Yeah, very true. Very true. Which I don't even know why, but I feel like my interest in the paranormal, like just when I'm, offline, or well, at least not streaming anyway, has been revived more recently. Like I've been listening to more Dogman Encounters radio again with Vic Cundiff, and that's been some really interesting stuff. Hell, if you want to hear the scariest freaking story that you'll ever hear in your life, look up Dogman Encounters Radio. Go to his episode entitled, I believe, oh shit, what was it? Like 3 hours of intense Dogman encounters. That's it. And skip to about 2 hours and 20 minutes and listen to the remaining 40 minutes of that particular episode. And that particular story is probably the scariest freaking Dogman story I've ever heard in my life. So that's what I'd recommend if you want to, give yourself a good scare. But yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll do some, like, I don't know, Mothman or Dogman streams or whatever. Talk about various paranormal topics. Similar to the way I talk about things now, we'll just look up information about them and discuss them. If I do that, I'll end up listening to creepy stories on YouTube before bed again. Yeah, possibly not a good thing right before you go to sleep, but I've done it before. I've been all right. Sometimes I don't know how the hell I listen to the things that I listen to and not like get nightmares or whatever, but I don't. I mean, sometimes I'll have scary dreams, but they're never really related to things I check out that are scary, at least not most of the time. Kind of did that for a month straight. Oh boy, that's intense. Well, if you've never listened to Dogman Encounters Radio, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorites. Like, I'm convinced, well, you've probably heard me say this before, but I'm convinced that dogmen are real at this point, because I just heard way too many eyewitness testimonies of it, and I've heard like the fear in their voices. Like, I just don't think that so many people could fake that and make it sound so real. Furthermore, a friend of mine swears to me that she saw one, and she would have no reason to lie to me. So, like, that plus hearing all those eyewitnesses on Dogman Encounters Radio. I mean, I'm sorry. I know it sounds crazy. I know that it sounds crazy, but I think that they're real. I really do. Put it on during car trips. Excellent. Let me know what you think about it. Like, some episodes are a lot better than others, and I also found for me personally that they're extra good when you can sort of like tune everything else out and just focus on that exclusively. So, I mean, I'm sure like car trips, listening to it during that will be good. But for me, the optimal setting is middle of the night. Everything else is like dead silent. And I sit down and I tune out all other distractions and I just listen to one of those shows and just get really into it, let my imagination get carried away. And wow, it's it's some wild stuff, I'll say that. Don't even know what they are. Explained. I think of the black dog ghosts. Oh, I get to have the pleasure of explaining what dogmen are. Well, oh boy. So dogmen are these creatures that people claim to see that resemble what one would typically think of as a werewolf, but they're not werewolves. They're not shapeshifters, at least as far as we know. They're big, these freaking like giant canine creatures, like way too big to be an ordinary wolf. And they also have human characteristics. And, a lot of times they're, I don't know, the average reported height is usually like 7 to 10 feet tall. They can be seen on all fours and walking on two legs. A lot of times, even though they'll have like legs that are canine that like are sort of backwards and not backwards, but like quote unquote bend backwards, unlike a human's legs, that bend forwards. So even though they'll have canine legs like that, they'll often be seen with like human hands and almost like a human like torso and chest with usually very ripped muscles. People constantly say they seem like freaking bodybuilders basically, but with a canine face and a snout. And I think people most commonly report that their faces resemble most that of a German Shepherd. I think that's it. Let me Google that real quick to be sure. And a lot of times people also say that their heads are proportionally much larger than they should be, like 3 times the size that they should be in proportion to the rest of their body, and will have almost like a cartoonish look or something, which is freaky as hell. Let's see here. German Shepherd. Yes. Okay. Here, let me just one moment. Find a good example here if I can. And that sounds disturbing. It does. It does. Yeah, a face like, hang on. A face like this. Just not so friendly looking, but instead generally very terrifying looking. Sounds like something I'd encounter while driving down Alberta Range Road by or in Alberta Balance at like 3 a.m. the witching hour. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. In fact, a lot of people encountered them way out in the I don't know, like the wilderness areas, like driving on a road late at night or whatever. Not surprisingly. And what's also very creepy is they're often seen at cemeteries. And I think also I read before around like military installations or something like that. Some people think that, well, I don't want to get all demonetized by getting into conspiracy theories, but some people think that they're like government created or something like that, which, I mean, who knows? Google Alberta Badlands. All right. But yeah, I mean, they're freaky as hell. I was never really interested in like Bigfoot and stuff like that. But dogmen, like that's a whole nother thing. That's terrifying to me. Like this freaking, like literally werewolf-like creature that is, menacing as hell and seems to go after people, though it's difficult to confirm. But so many people go missing every single year, and like could be because of these creatures. Dinosaur Provincial Park came up. Wait, let me go to images. Oh, so it's all like rocky, like mountainous territory. I wouldn't be surprised if dogmen appeared in a place like that as well. I don't think it's as common, but I've heard at least one report of someone encountering such beings in a desert-like environment. Now, I don't know if that's exactly what this is, but yeah, I mean, who knows? But no, they're most commonly seen in deep forests, but wilderness in general. Yeah, I mean, there are people that have been outright traumatized by these creatures, apparently. And it's crazy. Like, you listen to these stories that they tell, you can hear the fear in their voice. And some of them are just so unsettling because these dogmen show signs of intelligence. They show signs of like understanding what a gun is, understanding what a camera is, understanding the way humans think, essentially, and even having a sense of like, oh, I've got you, or you're my prey, or whatever. Deep forest here too. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine with being Canada, right? Isn't there like just lots and lots and lots of forests in Canada? Of course, kind of like my state here in the U.S. of Pennsylvania. A freaking state is named after like a forest type word or whatever, Sylvania, I believe. Yeah, it just came back to me. Pennsylvania, I believe, literally means Penn's woods. And of course, the location where my friend claimed to see a dog man is literally only a 10-minute drive from where I now sit. So a little unsettling, but whatever. It's weird. It seems they'll only appear for certain people and not for others. Wonder why that might be. Going down to your country in 2020? Oh, really? Interesting. Well, I hope it's a nice stay. I don't know. I've somewhat mixed feelings about my country these days, but that's another issue that we don't need to get into. Friend is getting married. Oh, cool. Yeah, sometimes I'll hear like people from other countries say, "Oh, I really want to travel to America and see this and see that." And I think, "Really? You want to travel here?" But I think we always think that, I don't know. It seems like we tend to have more of a negative bias towards our own countries and more of a positive bias towards others because like others we haven't been to, or at least that's been my experience. And like our own we live in, and so we're used to the things that we consider wrong with it. Same up here. I see. Yeah. I wish I could travel more. Maybe one day. Long for the beach. Yeah. Well, I even long for the beach where I am. I don't know why I keep moving my tarot cards around. It's kind of addictive. Well, it's almost midnight here now. So we were surrounded by woods and empty, endless, stretching farm fields. Yeah. It's kind of like here, especially, I don't know. I mean, I'm in a town, so I am surrounded by houses, but just a short distance out of this town is like just like basically what you said, endless stretching farm fields and lots of woods, which is so crazy because when you really think about it, like there are so many woods like on this planet. Like we can't possibly know everything that is in those woods. That's why, in a way, it doesn't surprise me that dogmen are cited by so many people and reported these days. Spooky, indeed, it is. Which I don't know what I'd ever do if I saw a dogman. I feel like my first instinct would be to get out my phone and start recording 1080p video that I could then upload to YouTube and show people that they're real. But then I also feel like I'd hesitate because, based on one story I heard, well, it may be the case that certain people in positions of power don't want evidence like that getting out. I mean, I don't know. That could just be a story, but I feel like, I don't know. Ever since I heard that story, I felt conflicted about it. I thought like, well, I don't want them to confiscate my phone or anything, but it would be tempting. If I even had time to think about that, maybe I'd be too scared if I saw one. Canada has a haunted forest down east. Oh, really? What forest is that? Personally, I think fight or flight would kick in for most. Yeah, I think that's what happens. It's just interesting because, like, as much as I'm a believer in these things, I can also be fairly skeptical and analytical. And I think, well, damn, it's 2019. We've been in the era of smartphones for so long. And so it's like, with all these dogman sightings, why isn't someone caught like more high quality video of them at this point? But you're right. I think that people get into fight or flight when they see something like that, and that's why we don't have such videos. And besides, who knows? Maybe there are people who would try to confiscate them, or who do try to confiscate them if such videos are made. But I know that there's at least one person that I listened to in one of those encounters that said he is actively working on trying to get actual video footage, or is either photographic or video footage, or maybe both, of these creatures because they're around his property all the time. Like he's actively trying to do that. And that was fairly recently too, like, I don't know, a number of months ago. So maybe he'll succeed. I don't know. I have to Google it. Okay. Canada haunted. Hang on, I misspelled it. Haunted forest. Getting a number of results. Oh yeah, the closest I've ever been to Canada is actually Niagara Falls. So I guess I've technically been right on the border of Canada. I went to Niagara Falls during the nighttime. That was 7 years ago. It's pretty wild. Actually, I walked across the bridge that they have, like that goes over the falls. But I don't know if I went to the other side or not. So maybe I've technically been in Canada. I'm not sure, but I don't think I can. I don't think you can just walk into Canada though. I think you have to provide a passport unless they make an exception for Niagara Falls. I have no idea. But yeah, all I know is I literally walked over Niagara Falls. So people who have like fear of water or whatever, try not to let that scare you too much. List of reportedly haunted locations in Canada. Oh wow, there's so many. Down east. But like what province do you think it would be in? Because I'm getting like a list of provinces here. So I think that's what they're called. Ontario. Okay. Let's see. There's a number of places coming up. Huh. Apparently, some place in Niagara Falls called Screaming Tunnel is allegedly haunted. Interesting. Um, huh. It's a forest. I'm looking for it. I don't know. Maybe it's not displaying. Is that on here? I don't know, but the various locations are Welland Canal, Bridge 13 in Welland, Bytown Museum in Ottawa, Fort George and Niagara on the Lake, Gibraltar Point Lighthouse on Toronto Islands, Grand Theatre in London, Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, Mather Walls House in Kenora, Ottawa Jail Hostel in Ottawa, Screaming Tunnels in Niagara Falls, Old Fort Erie in Fort Erie, Buck Hill and Round Lake, Ontario, Texas Road in Amherstburg, Weston and Highway 7 in Vaughan, Ontario, and Whitby Junction Station in Whitby, Ontario. So yeah, I don't know. Haunted forests are interesting though. I remember reading about the Hoia Baciu forest in Romania, I think, a number of years ago. That's some freaky stuff. Old TV show. Yeah, I think I literally go through like paranormal withdrawal, like because I used to talk about it so much more than I do now. Creepy Canada. Wait, I think that might have mentioned that. Let's see. Ottawa Jail Hostel was featured by it apparently, but Mather Wall's house was featured by it. Heard about the supposed haunted forest. Maybe if I just Google creepy Canada haunted forest. Let's see. Creepy Canada Wikipedia. The show first premiered on October 23rd, 2002. Ah, how appropriate. It's a Scorpio. Began its third season on May 5th, 2006. All right, what else do we have here? Episode list. Sometimes I do wonder though about like these paranormal shows, like how much of them can be believed. Not that I think this one's false or anything. I wonder. The show featured the Ukrainian village. Interesting. Near my hometown of Tuafield, Alberta. Oh wow. That'd be an interesting feeling, having it like be so close to home. If I just search forest, oh, it's no results. Well, I don't know. I give up. We are 1 hour, 11 minutes into streaming. Well, I think I'm going to use the bathroom real quick, and maybe after that we'll wrap it up. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. You're an awesome guy, Mr. Poetic. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Well, you're awesome too. I don't know what I did to deserve such a compliment, but thank you nonetheless. Yeah, so I'll make this stream unlisted once we're done with it. But since people do end up finding it afterwards, nonetheless, if anyone watches this and does want to hear that Dogman Encounters radio episode, I'm going to type in the chat specifically what to search on YouTube and where to go. Well, to hear that one story in particular, the really, really terrifying one. So, search YouTube for Dogman Encounters radio, 3 hours of intense Dogman Encounters, and go to 220. Wait, and let's see. Skip to 2 hours, 20 minutes. There we go. Also, hey, Rosie, thank you for the donation. Good to see you again. Let me know what your question is whenever you are ready. You know what will be coming up in my love life soon? Good to see you too. All right, let us do a reading on that. It's a good thing you showed up when you did. I was just about to get offline. All right. So we would like a reading for Rosie in the chat right here, right now, on the question of what is coming up in her love life soon. A Celtic Cross reading on this question. Let's see what we get. What is coming up in Rosie's love life soon? And that's it. Six of Swords, Page of Swords, Page of Cups, Ace of Pentacles reversed, Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Four of Cups reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed, Eight of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles reversed. All right, let's see here. Just sort of put all this together. I'm also going to utilize this stuff real quick so I can really properly focus. So the cards seem to be encouraging you to perhaps move forward. Six of Swords is a classic card about that. And quite possibly also to embrace new beginnings with like sort of like having a positive attitude and stuff like that. You know, you got the Ace of Swords in the near future, new beginnings, and you've got the Page of Cups for the underlying energy, like people in your immediate environment. This is like a classic like new lover, new romance kind of card. And so seems like the cards are advising you to embrace that, look to the new beginnings, and maybe move on from any new beginnings that didn't work out so well. Ace of Pentacles reversed in the recent past. And that's further emphasized by the challenge card, the Page of Swords, like saying your challenge at this time in this area is to get your mental juices flowing, get your curiosity piqued, your creativity going in this area of love life. And in addition to that, let's see. Four of Cups reversed for your attitude or position on the situation. You may be finding more satisfaction, feeling less dissatisfaction. Four of Cups reversed, I tend to think of it a lot of times also as having more openness and confidence, perhaps being more open to new possibilities. But do be aware that you've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed for the outside force coming in, and you've also got the Six of Pentacles reversed for the final outcome. And so, well, this could potentially be a number of things. I think what I think is most likely is you might run into someone who has like an unhealthy ego and or tries to sort of rob you of your security and stuff like that. So it's interesting. It's almost like there's two different, I don't know, maybe they're the same person. I'm not sure if they're the same person or two different people, maybe one person with two different sides, but like we've got, you know, underlying energy of Page of Cups, the new lover and stuff like that. But then we've also got this Queen of Pentacles reversed, which even though it's a female court card, it could stand for a man as well. It just depends. And then the Six of Pentacles reversed, which suggests someone coming in who is maybe not so trustworthy. So I would say watch out, especially for earth signs. So that would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. They might not be trustworthy. And also thanks for the additional donation. Let's see. I also like to know what my new coworkers think of me. All right, we'll look at that. But first, any questions on this reading about your love life? So that person will basically hurt me. They may. I mean, it's not that they would definitely hurt you. It could be simply that there's someone with whom a relationship is not going to work out. Queen of Pentacles reversed, we could be looking at someone who is like, and again, it could be male or female, with a court card in a reading like this, in this context, it could be female, could be male. But we're looking at the idea often of someone who's like a workaholic, someone who like the physical is all that matters, someone who is like too rigid and not open to like the more, I guess, soft side of life, things like love and whatnot. Someone who's like probably work obsessed, or at the very least sort of cold and perhaps indifferent. So yeah, if you run into especially an earth sign or anyone who seems to fit that description, that's probably not someone that you want to trust, from what we're seeing here. But if you run into someone who's more a Page of Cups or Page of Swords, that kind of youthful, new, curious, emotional energy, that could be someone who's good for you. But again, I have to say, just be careful, because it could even be the same person who just has two very different sides. That's a possibility also. I'm unable to tell if it's one person with two different sides or two different people. So I would say be aware of both. Could ask another question. Absolutely. Blah, blah. Hello there. Would you like a tarot reading? How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Donate more, about 1 sec. Okay, thank you. Is it for free? Sadly, it is not. It's for donations of any amount. Hello there, Lorena. Welcome to the stream. Are you interested in a tarot reading? All right, thanks for the donation, Rosie. Let me know what your question is whenever you're ready. It's only for one question. Nope, you got to pay something. At least $1. Your question, how might my next lover treat me? All right. So do you want me to answer your question about your coworkers first, or your next lover? Let's see, how can I pay? Through PayPal or Super Chat, which I'll post the PayPal link in the chat again just to make it easier. Your coworkers, all right. Let us take a look at that. All right, so let's see here. Okay, here we go. All right, so we would like a Celtic Cross reading for Rosie in the chat. The question of, what do her new coworkers think of her? What do her new coworkers think of her Celtic Cross? Let's see what we get. What do Rosie's new coworkers think of her? We're asking the universe, what do Rosie's new coworkers think of her? There it is. Yay, more people? Indeed. The more the merrier. All right. The Devil. The Ten of Wands reversed. The Nine of Swords. The Queen of Cups. The Page of Pentacles. The Sun. The High Priestess reversed. The World reversed. The Six of Swords. And the Four of Wands. All right, this is an interesting combination. Let us see here. I might have to apply the elemental dignities for this one. Let's just see. Well, the first thing I'm getting, as far out as this might sound, it almost seems like there might be an element of like some or perhaps many of them, or I don't know, some of them perhaps are concerned that you may provide like quite the competition to them. Like you could, I don't know, almost be a threat to their job security and stuff like that, because you got the Devil, you got the Ten of Wands, you got the Nine of Swords, Devil card be like, talking about manifestation and the idea of hard work and possibly a threat. Nine of Swords, worrying about stuff, and that's of course representing your immediate environment, so that's going to be one of the key cards here. They might actually be concerned that you're like almost threatening their position, if I'm reading this correctly. Is that good or bad? Well, all is well that ends well, as they say. Four of Wands for the outcome card, and you also have the Sun in the near future. So I don't know. It doesn't look like ultimately it's going to end up being really like a bad thing. But from what we're seeing here, yeah, it looks like they're concerned about you in that way. Let me see what else we might have. Yeah, they're afraid of things changing. Six of Swords in the hopes or fears position. Let's see. Well, I guess that's about all that's relevant, actually, in the spread. So, yeah, but I mean, it could also be that, like, with the Sun in the near future, it may be that over time, as they get to know you more, they'll come to realize that you're not a threat to their positions or whatever. They'll see things more as they are. That's what the Sun card is all about so much of the time, is seeing things as they are. So at least that's like, the positive side of that. I realize I'm a dummy. No. Well, interestingly enough, I mean, they think apparently they think that you're someone that could threaten their position. So interesting stuff. So let me know when you want me to proceed to your third question. So let me take a look at a couple of things here. Gosh, I guess I caused connection issues earlier, so I shouldn't do that now. All right, well, I guess I can gather these cards back up then. All right, well, okay, I guess I assume that you are ready to proceed. So here we go with your third question. So we'd like a Celtic cross reading for Rosie in the chat right here, right now. The question of how might her next lover treat her? How might her next lover treat her? Celtic cross. Let's see what we get. Your connection pause. That's okay. No worries. How might Rosie's next lover treat her? Well, they have locked. King of Pentacles reversed. Queen of Swords reversed. Ten of Wands reversed. King of Cups reversed. Eight of Swords. 10 of Cups. Queen of Cups. Nine of Wands. The Chariot. The final outcome card of the King of Swords reversed. All right, let's see. Let me put all this together. Well, as much as I hate to deliver potentially not so good news, we're seeing like a reiteration of what we saw in the love reading earlier. Right off the bat here with the King of Pentacles reversed, talking about, again, possibly dealing with someone who is overly work focused or, cold, hard, rigid, not so loving and doesn't like prioritize you. Also, King of Cups reversed for the past in the past position would suggest more or less that same thing. Now, there's a chance, however, that it might improve somewhat, as we see in the near future, with the Ten of Cups talking about happiness and harmony. But definitely, watch out for that King of Pentacles reverse kind of figure, most likely again an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. That would not be so good. Other than that, let's see. Outcome card being the King of Swords reversed. That can be anything from not seeing things clearly or logically to getting in trouble with authority figures or even like legal figures and stuff like that. So, but don't take that too literally because this is, a love reading. Well, the cards again seem to be really advising you to watch out for this person, that is not to be trusted, someone who's overly focused on other aspects of their life. But other than that, I don't know. We've got this like glimmer of hope with the Ten of Cups in the near future. So that's a good thing. But yeah, hate delivering bad news, but there may be someone trying to get in your midst that is not good for you. I always attract those people, and I'm attracted to those I don't know how to function with. Nice guys, it's not that I don't want to be treated good. It's just I never had someone who loved me. And that's too much info. No, it's okay. Yeah, well, it's stuff like that is a common challenge. So, but I mean, that's the good thing about tarot, though, is at least now you know what to watch out for, and so you can be careful to avoid that. Maybe that person is probably confusing like all the ones I mess with. Yeah, could be. Both the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords showed up reversed in this reading, which could potentially indicate confusion, especially mental confusion. I feel that person would be a player type. Let's see. I'm not getting a strong indicator of it, but there may be some level of possibility with this Eight of Swords and the hope to achieve position. Sometimes the Eight of Swords can indicate the idea of like arrogance and pride, and with its 8th house associations with Scorpio, no offense to any Scorpios out there, but that is typically a very, very sexual sign, and there can be the potential risk when we put these things together of an overemphasis on that area of life, and thus, therefore, potentially being a player type. But again, I'm not seeing a huge indicator of that. I'm more seeing an indicator of someone who is like cold, rigid, perhaps a workaholic, way too focused on their work, not making enough time for you, that sort of thing. Also, let's see. It's getting pretty late, so I'll have to wrap this stream up soon. So I'm going to make it unlisted real quick, but we'll all be able to stay here and finish it up. So let me just do that real quick. Hopefully the connection stays stable. Thank you for the reading. You are very welcome, and thank you so much for getting one for me, or for getting 3 from me. I appreciate it indeed. Wow, someone disliked this stream. Very well. All right then. Have a good night. Thank you. You as well. All right. Gathering up my cards. don't know, someone disliked this stream because we were talking about other topics, or because I won't give free readings. I don't really understand it. I wish they would tell me so I can try to improve upon myself. But oh well. Of course, if they're going to dislike my stream because I won't give free readings, well, that's too bad. I've worked very hard to be able to read these cards this way. You know, I deserve to be compensated. That's my position. Who knows? Indeed. Like what you do, Mr. Poetic. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much. I just love how anytime someone dislikes a stream or video of mine, they never leave a comment telling me what I could improve upon. It's like, well, tell me, like, if you don't like it, well, tell me what I can do to improve it then. Like, give me some constructive criticism. But nope, they never do that. But I almost wonder if it's like perhaps a somewhat common problem, because I've seen like tarot readers on YouTube like completely disable making likes and dislikes publicly available. Also, like calling you Mr. Poetic makes me feel proper and fancy. So I'm being a little selfish. Oh, well. I am generally speaking all for selfishness, as long as it's done for the right reasons. So nothing wrong with that. I mean, Mr. Poetic probably sounds better than Mr. Heretic. Well, it's 12:30 here now, so I guess we better wrap it up. I'm getting really tired. Coffee's fading away, or coffee's wearing off. So thank you to everyone who's been here, and thank you to you, Ryan, especially for being here virtually the entire time. And thanks to Rosie for getting some readings from me. It's always great. So I plan to be, as long as we don't have any, unexpected storms or whatever, I plan to be back on Wednesday as usual with probably more live tarot readings, but I'm sure also like a special stream on whatever subject I choose that day. Maybe we'll look at the astrology some, current astrology, who knows. And after that, I'll be back on Saturday. We will do another tarot card analysis stream. Should be fun. And then I'll be back on Monday, as always, with another Seth stream. So thanks again for watching, and have a good night. Off to bed. Please enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much, Ryan. And you as well. Have a good night. Have very good rest. I will probably be getting some rest myself in just a couple of hours. Obviously, tennis, peace, and love. Indeed, indeed. All right, good night. And I hope to see all of those watching next time, and all of those who have watched and have been here. All right, bye for now.